Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're calling in from today. Dave Miller, president at eMAM, and I have with me Anoop Thomas, our director of technology. Thanks for joining us for another of our Chalkless Talks, and we'll record today's session and happy to share it with you. And let me turn it over to Anoop.
Thanks, Dave. Welcome, everyone. Today, I want to talk about media delivery and packaging, not from a tool specific angle, but from a real world operations point of view. Because in practice, delivery is not just about copying files out of eMAM, it is about preparing content exactly the way an external system expects it. When we talk about media delivery, we are not talking about copying files from one place to another. Media delivery is about how the content is delivered. That includes the format, the structure, and the metadata that goes with it. So the delivery systems have to adapt to those expectations. That is why delivery is really about transformation and packaging. In eMAM, delivery can start from different places. Sometimes delivery starts from single asset. Sometimes it starts from a category or a project level, and in some cases, delivery is triggered automatically by a workflow. Each entry point supports a different business requirement. Let's start with asset level delivery. This is the most common scenario. You have one asset and you want to send it outside eMAM. That could be sending the copy of the media or sending only a subclip. I mean, a portion of 2 hour clip, like it can be an interview clip or a game video. So you just need to send out only a small portion of that one, or transcoding it into a new format. You can also send the media together with the sidecar metadata like XML, JSON, or CSV. The next option is package delivery. Here, delivery does not start from one file, it starts from category or a project in eMAM. That category may contain video, audio, subtitles, posters, and other files, or a project may contain all the elements related to that production. All of these are delivered together as one package, usually with an XML that defines how the files are related. In some workflows, content is stored as separate tracks. You might have multiple video tracks, multiple associated audio tracks in different languages, and subtitle files, all stored separately. But the destination system expects the output file based on their requirement, like MPEG-2 or MXF with a censored 5.2 channel audio in English with Arabic subtitles. In those cases, eMAM support track-based consolidation. Delivery does not always need to be manual. In many environments, delivery is triggered automatically. For example, when the ingest is complete, when the metadata is filled, like QC status is set to complete or success, or after an approval step. This is how delivery scales without adding more people. All delivery rules are defined in eMAM superadmin interface, which I will show you separately now. This is where teams configure delivery profiles, transcode presets, and so on. Then the delivery is actually triggered from the director interface. Basically, the users goes to the eMAM director interface and trigger the delivery. They don't need to worry about the superadmin configurations and so on and so on. That's the overall delivery model. Now, instead of more slides, let me quickly show where this happens in the product. So this is our eMAM director interface. So let me just start with the simple delivery. The simple delivery can start with like drag and dropping the files to the delivery widget, and then click on deliver. and then you choose the destination. It can be a playout, it can be another FTP or network or S3 bucket or wherever you want to send that media. And it can also be transcoded on the fly if needed, or it can be a duplicate copy. That all things can be configured in the superadmin. Then another type of delivery is a subclip delivery. So for that you can get the subclip widget. Again, you can store all these things as a workspace. So you can do in and out points. So this is the scenario I was talking earlier, like if there's a 2-hour game or a 2-hour interview, I just need to send a highlight area. So you create multiple in and outs and click on deliver. We can on the fly create a new clip and send it to the destination. Then the other type of delivery can be initiated from the category or the project level. For that, let me switch over to my production workspace. So there I have the project, and as you can see, eMAM can manage multiple type of projects. They can be Premiere, After Effects, InDesign, Resolve. Suppose if you wanted to deliver the entire project with the elements to someone, so you can trigger that delivery from the project level. Then another type of delivery is from the category level. There itself we can support two types of delivery. One is the packaging, like an XML defines all the elements part of that delivery. For example, cable labs, movie labs, the sidecar XML for OTT platforms and so on. So that kind of starts with the metadata. So in this case, I have the metadata at the category level that define what type of asset class it is, the title level metadata, the summary, all those things can be defined here, and this is all customizable. So cable labs have different formats, movie labs can have different formats, and then also you can have asset level metadata. In this case, I have the master copy. So if I click on the master copy, then I can have the metadata at the asset level. So that is the asset level metadata and so on. But my delivery is triggered from the category level. In this case, I have all these organized into categories like artworks, the master files, the audio tracks and everything. And then I can trigger the delivery from the category level. And then you choose the destination format. The format and all the things are defined behind the scenes. In this case, I'm selecting that format. And whenever you see red, that means the validations are failed, because it is trying to find a file based on the configuration, the file pattern ending with the subtitles, but there are no files ingested with that name. But then again, you can just drag and drop manually to fix that problem. And then also there is a direct UI level validation. So the metadata which I have showed you earlier, it is inherited into that XML, and if anything red means that's a problem, you have to fix it. Okay, so that is the sidecar, the packaged delivery. Then another type of delivery is a track based delivery. So in this case, it's again initiated from the category level, but in this case I have different video tracks, part 1, part 2, part 3. Then each part I can have English subtitles, Arabic subtitles, Spanish subtitles and so on. Then I can have 5.1 channel audio, 7.1 channel, censored copy, non-censored copy and so on. But then there can be a client comes in, hey, I need the English audio with Arabic subtitles and so on. But that delivery you trigger from the category level again. Then based on the, in this case, I'm just selecting package and deliver. And all these things are red because it is looking for the files with the p1.mp4, because my naming convention is part 1, part 2 and so on. So you can either manually drag and drop the parts there, or you can go back and fix the preset itself, the delivery preset, so it can automatically pick up. In this case, based on the configuration, the system will spit out a single file format. It is stitched together into one single file with all this information. So let me quickly go to the backend and show you how these things are working. I'm not going to go through each and every features in the eMAM system. I'm going to the delivery profiles. First of all, there is a transcode profile section where you can define different type of transcoders, including open source FFmpeg, Atom, and so on. Atom is the one we use it for the stitch and delivery, consolidated delivery. So individual delivery, it can be a duplicate or a transcode delivery. So the cable labs delivery from the director interface, which I have showed you earlier, so that can be configured like this one, and the sidecar is here. So you just copy and paste the XML, and then it automatically bring the variable values from different levels, like category level and the asset level. Then other type of delivery is the packaging and delivery, like consolidating all the segments or different tracks into one. And there we have a slightly different configuration. So earlier I showed you, right, the part 1, part 2 and everything. I can just customize that part 1, part 2. So that means I'm just creating an XML template to look for a specific naming convention. And so there's a part 1 MP4. It can look for part 2 underscore audio, part 1 underscore audio. And similar way, the segment 2, I can also customize that, and so on. So then all the output is defined here. So what type of output I want, you can have multiple outputs in different formats. And so like that, you can just configure your profiles. And let me go back and do one more delivery here, to delivery, and select the same one, package and deliver. So in this case, see that I just change my configuration, so it automatically detect those parts from the category. So that's how the different parts we can assemble it together and stitch it and create output formats. Yeah, that's time for the QA. Please let me know if there are any questions. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Anup. See questions we have, you can put them in the question box. And if you want a copy of today's session, our Chalk Talks, we try to keep them short and sweet. You alluded to, and anything else to add on delivery of other platforms? You mentioned Movie Labs, there's OTT. Anything more you want to briefly mention on that?
Yeah, the XML, the sidecar XML composing is very flexible, so you can technically put any type of XML there, BXF, and different type of sidecar formats.
I think that was most of the questions today. So thanks for your interest today, and let us know if you want a recording or any additional information on this or other workflows. If not, thanks. Have a great day, and thanks for your interest. Take care. Bye-bye.